Price team, Adam Ruff here again with one of the employee interviews. We got Mr. Dwayne T here today.
The Red Dragon.
The Red Dragon. So Dwayne, you've been in the industry for how many years now?
Coming up on 26 years.
26 years, yeah. And then 20 of it was with Price, right?
20 with Price. I had 4 years with a company out of ADM for about 4 years. A year with a company down in Iowa City, Barrett Electric.
Yeah.
And about a month doing residential with another company. So
yeah. Before Price, what was the main work types you worked on?
The project was building the new power plant that ADM had. So it was a boiler building, 132 feet tall, a cooling tower, a switch yard. Got to watch the big tower stack get built out there at ADM to have the 2 sets of lights, and then running the gear, cable tray, and underground pipe. So it was pretty much a complete install from ground up.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy too, because it changed the whole landscape of the whole area.
Yes, it did.
So now it's there forever.
A good landmark out there. I get to drive by and say, "Hey, I had a project or helping working on that project."
Yeah. So you mostly industrial type stuff.
Started off industrial, yes.
Yep, and then you went to Merritt. They mostly were they doing? I thought you were doing industrial stuff with them too.
At Merritt, they had a contract with P&G, so they had a lot of industrial work out there. So I was out there for about 7-8 months. Then got into some commercial projects, and then from there ended up at Price.
Yeah, Price. So then at Price, you started out with doing commercial.
Started off at the good old famous Birds Hall in Iowa City, doing fire alarm with Paul Hatta and some other guys that have moved on to other places.
Yeah, and then you started. That's really when you started getting heavily involved in fire alarm.
The first project we started was the finishing up of fire alarm. That was in June. By September, we were finished with it. That was a rather large project that had been worked on for a few years before. After that, then we were finishing up the kitchen remodel with Kelly Huffracker, and some of that fire alarm got rolled into that project to finish up. So that kind of started my legacy down the fire alarm path. The next 2 projects we had, Pomerantz, Iowa City High Edition, were all new panels, changeovers. Yeah.
So what really got you interested in the fire alarm? Besides here, Dwayne, you own this, and
I took a lot of electronic classes in high school. Was always kind of one that tinkered with electrical, electronics of things. So once I got into the fire alarm, how it worked, I just picked up on it, and everybody else seemed to hate it or not like it or had issues with it. In my analytical thinking, I just figured out how it worked, why it worked, how to do it, and that's been a big asset for me.
Yeah, made a big career out of it, known all over the state for fire alarm now.
On our Iowa City High project, they wanted us to run a big 3-inch pipe and have 40 or 50 wires to connect the panel together. And they ran the pipe, and then I got to it, I'm like, yeah, we only need a 2-conductor wire and some modules, and we're done. So I was helping to engineer and design how the system worked with just a few years experience. So
yeah. And then besides the fire alarm, I don't know that there's probably anything you haven't physically worked on here as far as work types and stuff, maybe residential, but
I can say residential with Price, not much. I did work with a company for a month doing residential. That was an interesting experience.
We talked about that before.
A couple of guys that broke off from another company, and they had their own issues. And after a month of doing that, I'm like, yeah, this may not be what I want to do, but it was good experience, and I enjoyed all the different small town bars that we found all over the place. So that's where we spent more time than we did working on houses, but we got the houses done too. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, underground piping I ran, cable tray, installing gear, control side of things, lighting, layout. Got to run a few projects. The Cedar Rapids Police remodel project was one.
I remember that one.
Just recently finished up a project in Wisconsin That was kind of nice to get back into the field, learn more about PVC pipe than what I think I should know, but it's its own little world. So I've had a good variety, and that's kind of what's made my job here is a good variety of things.
Yeah, keeps your mind active, not stuck in the same old ruts and
Right.
stuff like that. But yeah, so fire. That's kind of your career. What's one of your favorite projects that you ever got to work on here at Price? Most memorable.
Probably the most memorable of ones that I have done. I have some coming up that are going to be pretty cool. I would probably say was Slater Hall,
Slater Hall. Right.
the 12-story dorm building down there in Iowa City.
Yeah, and it was a fire alarm remodel, or
Excuse me. Yeah, that was a fire alarm project, replacing the panel. Also, was a generator install plus gear upgrade.
yeah. Why does that project stick out to you? Like as being one of your favorites?
At that time, it was the biggest project I had done. It was a 12-story building. So to run the riser pipes, have a layout, have a pattern of it. Actually, I still have memorized where our pipes are, where our boxes, how we set it up. It was just production style.
Yeah.
We needed holes drilled here, start on the 12th floor, and work your way down to first floor.
Yeah.
Here we need pipes and boxes. It was perfect prefab. Here we need, this is our setup. Here's our layout. Here's what's going to work. Set things up for 10'6" of pipe to set boxes. So we were actually able to run our trunk line down the hallway pretty much the same on all 12 floors.
No kidding. Yeah, so you were doing prefab even back then, huh?
So we had a layout. Here was the deal. Do these 3 steps. Start on 12th floor. Work your way down to first floor.
Yeah. Except for we weren't calling it prefab. We were just calling it being efficient.
Being efficient.
You don't want to do more work than you have to. But yeah, any other projects that stand out? I thought you were maybe say EFCO, but
EFCO was an early one. That was one that we helped Kelly Huffracker,
yeah.
Dustin Moneypenny. I think half of our crew at that time was down there at some point for a weekend shutdown. So that was a unique experience there. As far as other projects, the MHI up in Independence.
Oh yeah.
High Tech had just gotten formed that summer, and we started off with about a $750,000 fire alarm project.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, this is kind of a culmination of all the things I've done in the past, and got to put it together, and it was a terrific project.
Yeah. What are some cool things you got coming up?
We have the North Liberty Hospital, which running that with Eric Tesdale and Sean Ellis. That is going to be a huge project. It'll be probably the longest duration project that we've done for fire alarm. Hopefully by end of 2024 is what their goal is right now. So we'll see how that works out.
It's a long time. That's a big job site, though.
That is a big job site. There's a lot of trades. We have some other residential complexes with some multi-buildings being tied together. So instead of just a building here or there, now we're going to get multiple buildings to tie together.
Yeah. Oh, on the fire alarm.
On the fire alarm site.
That's.
We now have a computer programming for doing fire alarm layouts, which has made life a lot easier and able to handle more of these bigger projects and get them put to a position where we can submit them to the state and other fire marshals, and they'll accept those.
So, like, NICET wise, you're what, 4 or about ready to be a 4?
I've got my NICET 3, NICET 4 testing is passed. I think the paperwork to get the work history and everything done is worse than the test.
Yeah.
But that is something I need to do is probably get that NICET 4 level.
And then that North Liberty job, we'll have a lot of NICET people at least able to get it, won't it?
That will be a good goal to expand our fire team for how we're doing things, is to get other guys NICET certified.
Yeah.
We've got some in the Des Moines area, Alex Wright, and his team down there working on projects and giving them guidance.
Yeah. So that's work aside. I mean, personal wise, you got wife and 2 kids, right?
3 kids.
3 kids.
And 3 cats.
3 cats. You like cats, or?
I do now, yes.
All your kids are out of high school, aren't they?
out of high school. My youngest one is actually finishing up her teaching uh, duration this fall.
Oh,
Actually started right now, and then she'll be full-fledged teaching
she
music.
and sticking around this area, or she don't know yet?
Right now she's in South Carolina,
Oh, no kidding. Where at?
a small town outside of Greenville.
Greenville. Okay. Not that I'm very familiar with South Carolina, but I've been there a few times.
So she will have a very busy schedule for the next 6 months.
Oh, yeah. And then she'll be done.
Then she'll get her degree, diploma.
Yeah. That's cool to go on an adventure in a different state, though.
Yeah.
And then, what do you do for fun?
For fun, not a whole lot. Relax, enjoy my fire pit out in the backyard.
Yeah.
Been able to do a little more traveling. Last year, I was able to go to Alaska for a week.
Oh, no kidding.
Working on another trip for this year. Um, Being here now for 20 years, I do get a trip benefit. So working on planning that as to where we're looking at going.
Yeah.
For that.
I know you like barbecue, too.
Do you like barbecue?
Maybe go visit a barbecue place. Barbecue. Fun wise, I don't know. Is there anything else like TV shows you like to watch?
TV shows, some of the Star Trek movies.
Oh yeah.
Some of the NCIS series.
Yeah. Investigative.
Investigative type shows. Gotta love Columbo movies. The
Columbo.
old Peter Falk.
Yeah, that's a bald guy, right?
Yeah, just one more question.
What?
Peter Falk.
Oh,
He was one that always had one more question.
that's where you got
That
that
must be
from.
where I got that line. I have just one more question. You said this. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's funny.
You're probably thinking Telly Savalas with Kojak. You're looking at the bald guy.
Yeah. Well, besides everything else, what do you want people at Price to know about Dwayne, or your reputation here to be?
Well, I try to be the best that I can be. Um, some say, "Oh, you know everything about fire alarm." Well, I know a lot about fire alarm.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I probably encourage others is that you'll never get to that point where you're going to say you know everything.
No, not in this trade.
There's always things changing, things coming up, newer technologies, different code changes. So just setting a good legacy.
Yeah.
Quality of work. We try to avoid going back to rework things. I can say that on the fire alarm side, I can probably count on one hand how many times I've had to go back years later to fix something.
No kidding.
Granted, you'll have your initial troubleshooting and going through things, but once that part is done, I would say very rare have I had to go back. So you get that reputation to where you get fire marshals that give you a call and say, "Hey, we got a question for you."
Yeah. Picking your brain
for stuff, and it's like, that's pretty cool that you have an AHJ reaching out to somebody, and they do it with others I know as well. But it's just a nice compliment that, hey, we respect what you know and value your opinion.
Yeah, and to your point, nobody knows everything.
Yeah, we're not going to know everything. It's a team effort, so we're always helping each other out. We have a lot of fire alarm work, so I encourage others that want to get into the fire alarm side of things to do that as well. Having a journeyman's license and a nice set license is a good combination.
Yeah, and you can help them out, point them in the right direction for any of that too, right?
I'm available to help anybody out.
Yes. Well, thanks for doing this, Dwayne.
Not a problem. Thank you, Ruff.
Price team, Dwayne Tindick, aka the Red Dragon. Price team, thank you.
All righty. Thank you. Have a good day, guys. Be safe out there.
Yeah.